Hey, folks, welcome back to Tight Sports. Just wanted to go through this press conference. This is a ULM press conference, but of course, we will hear some comments from Coach Deboer talking about the FSU game. So I've been putting this off long enough. Got to put this video out, but I figure no more of the niceties and watching the boys tap the pads and brush across the rubber thing devices and push the little sled. I'm going to probably be watching these press conferences like this, so if I can see if I can sniff out the bovine excrement that's being spread across the Crimson Tide Nation. I mean, man, just a total waste of time on Saturday.
Just, I guess, first of all, just want to send condolences out to Leroy Jordan's family.
Yes, prayers to the family, respect to the great Leroy Jordan.
The passing over the weekend, and so just I know a huge part of this program and in the past here, and want to send from our coaching staff and our team our condolences, and then just hitting up the injury updates because I know you guys will ask on those. Jamarian Latham had a lower body injury. We'll see how he progresses. It'll be day to day throughout this week. And then Isaiah Horton, really proud of the way he fought through a lower body injury that he had, but just kept fighting through Saturday. Was certainly limited, still feeling that a little bit. But he just continued to compete, and he's someone that it doesn't surprise me that that's what we saw. But we expect him to be full go by the end of the week. We'll build up, as he can tolerate here early on. But Ryan, we'll go through the concussion protocol throughout the week. He'll have a day-to-day situation. Jaden Roberts, I think everyone probably saw last week. He was fully cleared. He's been out there on the practice field for some time now. But just for everyone to feel good.
Need to put him at fullback. Just run the ball.
And taking, full go reps.
What do I know?
He traveled. He could have gone in the game if we needed to.
We needed something. We needed a lot.
Didn't have him play out there. Tim Keenan. Be week to week, just kind of moving forward, but he'll still be out this week. And then Jam Miller still week to week, coming along real nicely with his progression. So optimistic there here in the short future.
Thanks, Coach. Just start with Chase on the far left.
I know most, if not all, coaching staffs, when they grade individual players, that they track loafs or instances of lack of effort. Did you see much of that when you looked at film on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, there's, we're certainly disappointed in some effort situations that happened.
Situations, a word that ends with an S, meaning plural. There was a plurality of loafing. Come on, man.
I think they came in different ways, and some of it's just flat out got to pursue, got to get there, and it surprises you sometimes when it happens, especially with certain guys because of the effort that they put in and day out. And I think there were some other things that come across as hesitancy, as a way I kind of put it. And I think after the game, probably would follow that up and say that there was a couple times where we just got to be quicker to get to a spot and do our job. It might be setting an edge and just, again, hesitant with the communication, kind of confirming, or just, we believe and have that confidence in what we're doing.
Could have been the late night romp around the hotel that you guys were staying in, reportedly ordering pizza and just doing whatever to 2 o'clock in the morning when you got a game 12 hours later. Who do you have in charge of doing? Can you get Courtney Morgan down there? He makes enough. Can he sit in the hallway with a couple people off his staff or somebody, some trainers, and just write down the name of the sucker who got the nerve to be out of their room past midnight or maybe 10? Or maybe you don't roll like that. Maybe you think it's all good. maybe you right now need to subpoena the videotapes from the hotel to see exactly what was going on. And why weren't you up paranoid the night before the game, walking through the hotel to see if you see one one person up past curfew? Do you even have a curfew?
No, there really wasn't much. It was really, I think I spoke maybe that there was a couple looks that we hadn't really practiced. I don't really feel like there was really that at all. After watching the film, I thought we did a good job preparing. I thought the guys had a great week. Now you just gotta, translate the numbers that you see on the football field that were in different jerseys. And believe that scheme, those X's and O's that you saw in your week of preparation is who it is in a Florida State uniform. And
Whatever you thought they was going to see, they didn't see it. They didn't recognize. They hadn't seen it enough. They needed to see that thousands of times. I'll tell you right now, getting ready for that offense will get you ready for the other scrambling quarterbacks, 4 or 5 I can think of right off the top of my head. Wouldn't nobody be able to scramble on us if they were prepared on Saturday. Now I'm thinking you guys may not be prepared to stop or slow down a running game from the quarterback, especially till about game 7, 8. Boy.
And, just I think you saw it as the second half went along. They started really kind of getting into it, but it was too late. It just put.
Too late for what? To start snatching scholarships? To start demoting seniors to third team? Too late to light a fire up under your defensive coordinator to fix it? Too late for what? I don't. So second half, if you can't fix something by the third quarter, you out. You out. You like, oh man, I thought it was gonna be different. So, and with that, this is not Shark Tank, sir. You can't be out at the third quarter.
Put us behind the 8 ball. Now you got to be perfect in everything you do.
Score was 14-7. Jesus Christ. 14-7?
And put us in a spot where we had to play catch up. And on the road, that's certainly hard to do. And those guys were feeling it. They're with Florida State. There's a chance for them. And again, together as a team, we got to find a way to overcome one side of the ball when you need that drive for a touchdown, getting it done defensively, when you can get that big stop, getting it taken care of right there. We inched our way back in the game. That's what you got to do when you have a 17-point deficit. Again, we shouldn't get to that spot, but inching our way, something that we did better than I felt in the offseason. We've talked about, the Oklahoma game last year and how you got to try to get 7 points and make it close and put some pressure on them. And we were right there, 24-17. Really, we should have
And you pissed it away.
The ball 3rd and 11, on defense with 9 minutes to go. And, just how far we had come in that probably previous 10 to 15 minutes of the game, I'd have felt like, man, this thing's going to happen, and that there's a real belief and confidence that I think was building on the sideline. So you just got to finish. You got to get the stops. It comes back to just that effort, but it has to happen from the very first play.
So winning has to start at the beginning. But when it doesn't go right, if it ain't right by the third, we done dealing. Cool. I'll keep that in mind going forward with my viewing choices.
Go to the far right side of Charlie.
You're kind of sticking with that. When you say you're surprised by some of the lack of effort or intensity from the players you're not expecting that from, what do you do to kind of combat that moving forward?
Yeah,
these guys
need to be on the bench.
They're great kids. They got high character.
With a scholarship?
They want it bad, and so
I want $10 million, sir. I'm not understanding.
It's just showing them, and
So you're gonna go set the edge. You're gonna keep contained. You're gonna get out in the field and show Bray Hubbard how to put his helmet on the outside shoulder of somebody trying to block him to push the run back to the inside. I don't think you are babbling.
A lot of times they already know, and making sure that we continue to be intentional. That's a word that I use a lot, and it's going to be something I use a lot more this week. Again, just be intentional on what we're trying to accomplish with quality reps, and making sure that every rep is done at a high level from, the effort to the execution.
Stay in on the right side and go to Nick.
You got to.
Yeah, before he got hurt, Ryan Williams working inside more a little bit. How would you assess what he did and where he could continue to improve once he gets back?
Yeah, I think we'll continue to, work and figure that out. There's just been so many bright moments with him inside. He never really got going, in the game before getting hurt. And so, we'll continue to have to make sure we're moving him around. And, last year had a great season, and a good foundation as far as us understanding what he can do on the outside. We really felt like what we had seen, especially in the fall, limited practices in the spring, but in the fall, really liked how he could get matchups in our favor and really pose some problems. You can get him from one side of the field to the other. You can get him deep. You can get him, out in the flat quick. And so there's a lot of different directions he can go. Get the ball even in the run game a little bit. So. We'll keep
enough running backs,
as we go through here, and this week will be a little trickier again with him getting limited opportunities, but that's going to allow someone else to step up. And
why you got to put Ryan Williams in the backfield when you got like 5 running backs? You got 5 running backs that I know of, not even including Jam. You got 5 running backs. Why are you trying to put somebody else? Some jet sweep stuff, maybe. But a man just come off a concussion, use Rico Scott or Latsier, man, but just run the ball. What's this left and right? Straight ahead. Kane Proctor, Dewberry. That is 700 pounds of man.
Us kind of continue to figure out the dynamics of how we feel best with our receiving core and the people that should be out there in those spots.
Let's go to Mike on the back left.
You mentioned the great week before the game. Just how much do you self-scout the preparation before games? And are there times as a coach where maybe you notice during the week that things might not be going the way that you want them to?
You said, what do you mean, great week?
A great week. You said a great week of practice.
You said you had a great week of practice. Everybody was firing on all cylinders. And what he's saying, what the reporter is actually asking you is you saw Formula One performance. And when everything started, when the game started, your team was running like they were in that in a tricycle race. Wow, Gus Malzahn had one of them school buses that jump over cars.
Preparation.
For this week, you're saying, or are you referring to last
going
week?
Going up to Florida State before that
You
game.
know what we're talking about. You know what we're talking about.
I said that?
You said that, yeah, before.
Yeah.
Oh, just,
Somebody yeah.
okay.
Second ago.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys did. I mean, defensively, I felt like that we were pretty honed in. Gone back and actually looked at the practice film on some of the reps that we took that were pretty much identical to what we saw, and just trying to figure out, why were we one step or what, why was our communication just a little bit slower? So it's just, again, these guys have already shown me yesterday how bad they want it and how they're going to respond. And
See, the problem is when they show you stuff, we don't see it. It's almost like you lying to us. Are you even intending to practice? I think you are, but are you really paying attention, or are you listening to the reports of your assistants from all positions saying, "Oh, we did good today. Old boy didn't do that, and old guy didn't do that." Are you actually watching them execute? And when they're executing, are they doing walkthroughs? Are they jogging through? Are they 50%? Are they thumping? Because whatever it is, it ain't a problem with them. The problem is with you and what you saw. Whatever you saw, your eyes were lying to you.
so, I really feel like the tone in the locker room after the game,
We talking about the music? Was it stale?
at least from my standpoint, and how I can address the team is completely different than it was a year ago. And so, we don't need to speak in those terms, but it feels different. There's more of a, like, just flat out upset. I can use a lot of different words to explain it. But this, really upset about how it went. These aren't learning moments anymore. This is us and our program. And, again, we understand the situation we've put ourselves in and that we're in. But it is a long season. And,
Ain't that long.
let's take care of business this week.
No.
And then that's going to.
No. It ain't that long in Alabama. It's not that long. You're going to find out how short your season is in about 5 games. 5 games. And your season could be completely over. Oh, you'll still be playing. Oh, yeah, people still be selling T-shirts and popcorn and Coca-Cola. And there'll still be games to play, whatever. But the season, sir, will be over. And if you don't clean this up based on what we're looking at, your tenure could be over. Or at least you could be losing some of your friends that you brought down here to sip tea with, Tuscaloosa.
Set up the next week, and then we'll worry about that. That's been our philosophy all along, but we really got to live it now.
Go to the column front left.
Hey, Kalen, you talked a little bit about Ty's performance.
I'm ready to punch that dude in the I think it's disrespectful to call this man Kalen. That's just me. I remember people saying Coach Dubose. I remember people saying Coach Shula, Coach Saban, of course. Mr. Saban, if you like. Kalen? Is that your nephew or something? It's been irritating me since last year.
Post game, but I'm curious. He said he called every drive after the first one. He said the offense played complacent, and I'm curious to see a guy after his first start make those kind of comments. What does that say about who Ty is and how he kind of runs this offense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't hear those comments. I guess I guess the only thing I can look into is that human nature is that when it goes well on your first drive and you end up in the end zone, that there's something internal, right? It's just human nature. But I also know that we challenged the guys that it was a lot of work to get the ball down the field. It took 9 minutes, and that, as great as that was, and man, that's awesome. Like, to take that much time off the clock, keep their offense off the football field, that's what you want to do. That you had to put play after play after play. I believe it was 16 of them together. And so I guess to me, we went out there and executed a lot of drives. We just have to do a better job of sustaining it. And if there's a complacency, I guess maybe not taking it for granted that, you get down into their territory, that it's automatically going to happen. You got to make it happen. You got to do it, and we got to do it. And so I guess if I'm really reading into what he's saying, it's that you got to finish. You got to do it. No one else is going to go out there and magically put it in the end zone for you.
Go to front right, Kennington.
A penalty.
But before that next question, he said Ty Simpson said that they was complacent, and maybe you need to rethink your policy about everybody talking to the doggone media, because obviously you're getting blindsided by comments from other people, and you're gonna keep this going. Because I don't know what's about to happen on Ryan Williams' show. Even to a concussion, he should be able to do a show, and you're gonna keep answering questions that you can't answer. You got everybody doing these interviews. Maybe you need to shut that down. Maybe this is exactly why Coach Saban, who coached in this kind of new media era, said, you want to talk to somebody, you talk to me. And then I'll bring people for you to talk to maybe every once in a while. Because I see right now, you ain't ready. You couldn't even explain what your quarterback said. Whatever he said, he should have already said it to you. And now you need to go check that. You need to check that. You said the team got upset. Oh, they were really mad. Did you get mad? Or you just got disappointed? See?
Yeah.
Go to front right, Kennington.
Eight penalties on Saturday. That was something that also hurt the team a year ago. What has been the strategy to eliminate those penalties? And now that you're into the season, what's the thought process of how to correct that trend?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of consequences that go along, especially the foolish penalties, the ones that, happened after the whistle and things like that. So that will continue to be the case. there's just got to be better judgment when we get in those spots. And you know that the quarterback's going to be protected, and you can't live in the gray area. And all offseason, that was a point of emphasis. And we can't afford to have every guy have his one-off time to where it's like, okay, that was his mistake. Oh, next game it's a different guy. We got to learn and understand. We talk about everything from what we see in other games that happened around college football, the NFL, whether it was out of season and even here after the week 0 games. And so it's certainly addressed, and now the guys just got to do it. And when they don't do it and make those mistakes, then there's consequences that we've had and we've already dealt with here, going into this week.
Emily Graves, front left.
Coach, you mentioned that response that you want the players to have and the response they want to have. How do you and your staff maximize that into translating it to on-field results come Saturday?
Yeah, what the guys need to do is cut it loose. They just need to go play. They need to block out outside noise, whatever that is, enjoy and love the game and play it the way it's meant to be played. And that was my message yesterday, is don't overthink this. Just go out there and ball out. And they know what they're doing. They need a trust and belief in the training. They need trust and belief in the reps and all the banked walkthroughs, all those, all that they've done, all the work they've put in, and go out and reap the rewards from it and go have fun doing it. And so, don't overthink this. Just go out and play. And
Yet still, over on the channel called The Film Guy, Ball Out, he found not one instance in 60 plays where a linebacker ran downhill to do anything. The play started, and it was like they were doing a drill, even from your most senior linebacker. Chopping it up, then they break to the ball. Nobody just flushing, straight there, just getting across the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. They didn't see it enough. Somebody gonna get you again. They may not run a whole slate of Gus Malzahn. We're gonna change our offense this week. No, they're gonna add about 12 plays, and they're gonna hit you 20 times. And you'd be lucky if it don't cost you 21 points. From better teams, probably too.
do what you love to do, and don't listen to this person that's in your ear and telling you this and that. Like, go out and just do you, and that's what these guys got to do, and enjoy
do
it.
Do you, baby,
and play with an edge too, right? Because we got something to prove, because there's obviously a piece where this weekend we fell short.
In my past, I had to interview people. He doesn't sound like he sounded last year. He sounds unsure. He's stumbling over the slowness. I mean, last year was a little more assertive. He was confident that he was turning and going in the right direction. He don't know where in the hell this is going this year. I'm just telling you. I'm just I'm almost about to get into that whole eye thing. You tell us about his lying when they're looking this way or they're making stuff up. See, last year he didn't move that much when he talked. He was nervous, so he would get something to drink. Now his head is just kind of, his body language is it's worse. It wasn't great. It's worse now.
Of what we feel like we're capable of doing, what our potential is. So go out there and prove it too, but don't put added pressure on yourself. Have fun. Get it done.
Go back right, Jamie.
Hey, Coach, do you believe that you play like you practice? And if you do, is there anything you would change in practice day to day to make sure your team puts out the toughest product they can on Saturdays?
Yeah, I completely believe that you play how you practice. And that's what probably surprises you even more is like when your assignment's sound and you have great communication. We talk about confident team is one that communicates well. You're confirming what you do to the guy behind you, in front of you, next to you. You're alerting if you're on defense what the motion is when you see some guy tipping off that he's going to go across the formation. You're one step ahead on what that coverage structure might roll to. Communication, and then obviously the effort, and so even just urgency from and transitions from drill to drill. It's not going to be stressed. I can't even say it's going to be stressed anymore because we stress it every single day and every moment of practice. And so it's just got to translate to game days. And again, a lot of it is just, like just go out there and enjoy it and have fun. You put the work in, and these guys are doing it. I always compare the off-season training in the weight room. That we're not building to be a track team and then just take our running to more running. We're taking our skill sets, our body, and how we're developing, and then also the urgency in this transitions from one station to another. We got to translate that to football.
That's great. I just got a feeling that if I was 30 years old, and I don't know how they practice. I don't know. I know they hit. I don't know. I just got a feeling that I go up there. I'm 30, right? So I'm 30 years old. I'm not 30. I'm way past that. But if I had a pretty good week, I worked out about 6 weeks before I got there, that guy would probably look at me and be like, hey, he's doing it. He's doing it. But I guarantee you, because I can make it through a workout at 30, 2 hours, 3 hours. Make it through a workout. Yeah. Back then, yeah. I can make it through. But if you say hike and we thumping, you would know exactly who shouldn't be on the field. I'm talking about full-fledged running 2 days a week and thumping. You got a problem. Boys is soft. See, because soft folks can look real good. I was listening to Dexter the Blade Jackson. 29 years he went to the Olympia competition. They was talking about him and the difference between him and big man Ronnie Coleman, and asked him why he never did a lot of heavy weights in his lifestyle, in his training. You got to realize he and Ronnie started at the same time. Ronnie was a power lifter as well as a bodybuilder. And they said, Dexter, you never really lifted that much, but you won the Mr. Olympia. You went to many others. You're still competing. He just side note, he's competing while Ronnie Coleman's having all these back surgeries. And I'll never forget what Dexter Jackson said. My job is to look strong. I don't have to be strong. That's bodybuilding. But in football, it seems like Coach Deboer's philosophy is you have to look like you look like you can get it done instead of watching people at practice get it done. I don't know how much contact they're avoiding. I know you're going to lose people. People going to break. Hey, some people don't even get to their scholarship because they get hurt. They don't get to the NFL because they get hurt. But you can't line people up out here and they baby doo-doo soft.
How you run on the field, how you run off the field, how you start, how you finish, the mindset that goes into all that.
He's talking that Bray shouldn't have played that game. I don't know where Red Morgan was. I don't know if he was rotated in, but Bray played too many bad plays in the first quarter. Well, for at least the first half. Bray should have been set down for the second. He almost reminds me of a person that maybe he ate something or he consumed something that was affecting him. Because I ain't never seen him play like that. Never.
And so, I really believe like our guys do that at a high level. And so, we gotta make sure we keep stressing those things that we've stressed, and make the corrections here going on into this week.
All right, let's finish up with Alex here.
How do you think Ty did in terms of decision making, not just where he went with the
Ty was
football,
all right,
but
man.
feeling pressure, knowing when to get out of the pocket and move?
43 times though?
There was a couple times where he probably could have avoided having to get to that point by just ripping it, just trusting himself. The guys were where they needed to be. The reads happened. Just, that comes along, right? Getting into the flow and just,
Well,
I know they want verification on that. Okay, this is what we practice, and it's the first game of the year. But he just cut it loose. Just like when you see the read, it isn't like they're putting 12 guys on the field. Okay, there's only 11 out there. And when this structure goes a certain way and it is what you practiced, trust and believe it. So then what that does, it forces him into, that progression or that read, being missed. And now, the next step, which I think you're referring to, and that's taking off and scrambling. And there's a time or two where he could have made decisions that were better, but he also kept some drives alive, especially the first one. I thought he did a nice job and came up short there right at the end of the game. That's a tough one, where he came up a few inches short, but the effort was there. You could see that, trying to fight for every inch he could to keep that drive alive. So he's going to learn from it. Ty wants it. There's no doubt. I mean, he's a guy that takes ownership himself. And again, that's what we do from the coaching staff on down to our players, going into this week is just always reassessing, win or loss, like what we need to get better at, what our strengths are, and then how we got to progress and what the plan should be moving forward.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet. Thank you.
I'm not saying that Ty Simpson was not a problem, not an issue or rather, but he wasn't a problem. Problem was that man right there, what he saw in practice last week and how he interpreted what he saw and what he saw on the field, what he saw being called, how he saw people loafing and executing, because this wasn't just one player loafing here, one player loafing there. There were players loafing several plays who probably should have been set down for a quarter so they can get their mind right, or just let them sit it out. So I think that's how I'm gonna do his press conferences and some others, especially for the coordinators coming up here. But that's all I got for right now. Catch me Tuesday, Thursday for Around the Herd. I'll try to go live between the third quarter to the end of the game. Not for ULM. I shouldn't have to. I deserve a break on ULM. But that's all I got right now. Please subscribe, share these videos, hit the like button. Things are getting serious right now, and I'm getting agitated. But until next time, always remember, roll, tide, roll.